because sometimes it takes a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, and welcome to the MAGAMind podcast live from Japan. I'm Brian Ferentz. You can follow me at Brian Ferentz1. With me is
James Richard, and you can follow me at Runcible Spoon on X.
We're going to talk about a lot of different topics today. One of the things we're going to kick off with, I noticed in Japan, is it's part of the culture here, but I think more so since post-COVID, still many people are wearing masks. When you're on the subway, just walking around the airport, I've seen people exercising, jogging with masks on still. So I think, unfortunately, it was part of the culture before, but especially with COVID, it's made it just a little bit worse. My hat's kind of got screwed up there. Made it just a little bit worse. And now everyone seems to be wearing masks still in Japan. I mean, not everyone, but a good portion. What do you think about it, James?
Yeah, there's quite a few. And it seems to be not oriented more towards just like one age group either. Like there's old people and there's young people as well. All different, in all the whole age group. And I thought that was very strange. And some of these masks are like...
They're very intricate.
They're very thick and intricate.
Like double layer, like shaped.
Yeah.
Going over their ears.
Yeah.
Skin-colored masks.
Yeah, they have some, high-quality masks. But, you just increase your carbon dioxide, so you're gonna die just as faster with a nice mask.
Yeah, it's been proven that through actual science that wearing masks does not prevent the spread of the COVID-19 or other similar type of particles, which are, of course, much smaller than the pores of the mask itself. Many times on the mask package, it says it's not intended for this purpose.
I think around here they mainly wear the mask because of the particulates in the air, because of all of the pollution. There's just a huge amount of pollution that they have in this country. Us just walking around, I'm coughing up stuff from the pollution.
Did you notice that mostly in Tokyo? Was that where it was the worst? Is in Tokyo?
No, actually, it was the last place we were. Where was that?
We were in Kyoto.
Kyoto.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I noticed it the most.
More so in Kyoto. Okay.
It just seems like it was really bad there. And I think it's not necessarily, they're trying to prevent like a disease. They're trying to just stop the stink in their face.
Well, that's interesting.
So that's what I think.
Interesting.
I don't know for a fact.
Okay. Well, show the sake that we're drinking today. He's got a sake bottle here.
We went into a sake tasting, and we
got it close.
Yeah, closer.
There we go.
Let's do the close up. Woo, woo. It's a local small batch kind of sake, and you would think local small batch kind of sake would be like $50 a bottle. Mm-hmm. I think I paid $9 for that bottle.
Much cheaper the sake here than what we get in the U.S. and much higher quality.
Yeah, this stuff is much better than I could find anywhere.
But do you remember the other night? I think I took a picture of it, but it was a type of sake, and it had the name Biden in it.
It's Mouu Biden. We just called it, Ho Biden.
Yeah, we call it Ho Biden, but
but they actually pronounce it Biden.
And it actually was pretty good sake.
It was the best. It was really good. I don't even remember walking home. It was that good. I am not even exaggerating on that. I was like, did I lose my hat, my jacket? Did I bring it home? I don't remember.
Well, you have a new hat.
Yeah, this is my new fedora. I bought it here in Japan. So this is my new traveling hat. So wherever I go, I'm going to be wearing this fedora, and you will see it again.
I'm of course wearing my Trump fight shirt. There you go, 2024. I wore that all day today. They love Trump here in Japan. I think most of the people do really love Trump.
I think most of them do. It was really kind of funny. We were on the train, and we saw one of those little round WEF buttons.
Yeah, it's like a circle. It looks like a pinwheel kind of, And
Yeah, it was multicolored.
Yeah, it's like rainbow colored.
Yeah.
Bill Gates wears those all the time.
And and he was sitting right straight across from us on the train, and I'm like, going, hey, it looks like a Target to me.
Yeah, that was a little weird. He was kind of eyeing us.
He was
as well. He knew that we noticed his pin.
Because I saw it immediately, and I said
Yeah.
something to Brian, but I was trying to be quiet.
He heard you say WEF, I think.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think he did.
Because he was like, oh, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
Well, let's jump into our first topic. I'm going to share the screen here, and I think I can just do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I guess I'm going to do it the way I did before. Let's just jump into this. We were talking about Biden. Let me play this video here. This is about Biden's pardons. So I guess he used an auto pen to write the pardons for Fauci, Miley, the J6 committee, and his family. They all have identical signatures with auto pen. So here's a little video on it. Let's just play that real quick. And it's showing. Yeah, let me make it bigger. Let me play that again. So it's taking these signatures and it's superimposing them over each other and showing how they're identical. They're identical. There's no way you can have an identical signature like that unless it's an auto pen. So the question is, who signed those? Because Biden didn't sign them. It was a machine that signed them. And I think those pardons are invalid. I think they're null and void.
Well, I mean, how old is Biden? What, 81 years old or something like that? I mean,
he's mentally incompetent. He was mentally incompetent when he signed it. So they're null and void anyways. But now they're fake signatures.
But see, the point I was trying to make is that when my mother got to be 81 years old, her hands started shaking. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that Biden does that too. He kind of shakes when he moves, which is common for most people when they pass 80. And this guy's 83 years old making a signature perfect. I mean, it should be shaky when he writes a signature. I mean, that's the way my mother was.
Right. And you shouldn't be able to have two identical signatures. They would each have variation. There's no way.
There's no way you're going to have exactly the same. So, yeah, I would say that those are invalid. I mean, I would definitely think that that's completely invalid. Mm-hmm. But
well, you know what that means? That means we can go after Fauci and the J6 committee and General Miley, and they can all be prosecuted for treason, sent to jail, sent to Gitmo.
Yeah, I agree. We should send them to Gitmo. Sorry.
That's right. All right, let's jump to our next topic here. Let's see. Let's go to this one. I'm going to share the screen again.
Oh.
All right. So this is talking about USAID, and it's been implicated in funding a Ukrainian organization called MOLFAR, which is a crazy name, MOLFAR. MOLFAR labeled Vice President J.D. Vance and other U.S. officials and public officials as foreign propagandists aligned with Russia. According to an investigation by the Gray Zone, MOLFAR, established in 2019, described itself as an open source intelligence community platform which collects lists of Ukrainian enemies to bring war criminals to justice. It identifies USAID, and the U.S. Civil Research and Development Fund. I don't think Doge even looked into that one yet. They should, as their partners, indicating financial and operating support. So clearly that's a problem. I mean, it's to me, this is it's the literal definition of treason. It's giving aid and comfort to enemies of the United States.
Yes.
And I think Ukraine is an enemy of the United States.
Oh, I do too. I think that the reason why they went over there is because they have all of those bio labs over there. And they wanted to use those bio labs to make stuff that possibly could be used in. I got to be careful what I say because I keep getting a shadow ban.
Yeah, don't do that.
I gotta keep my mouth a little closer. Uh-oh. What happened to that?
They just keep trying to force me to do a Windows update. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I totally
Just
understand.
ignore that. Keep going.
Yeah, it's just that they. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Geez, what did you do to me?
I didn't do it. It was Bill Gates.
It was Bill Gates. It had nothing to do with the sake. I've only had about a bottle and a half already.
Well, it's. I don't know if it would be even better without the sake.
Probably would.
No, I mean you were talking. You got to be careful what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because
Well, yeah, the bio labs over there, because they created the bio stuff to basically unalive everybody.
mm-hmm.
And so that's what they put that stuff in those little beautiful stripy clouds that we have in the sky now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they have them all over here in Japan as well. So yeah, they're all over the world. They're striping the world.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting on the chemtrails. I mean, to see in Japan chemtrails just identical like they are in Arizona. They're just dropping them in the sky. It's been proven. It's not a conspiracy theory. Those are chemicals. There's aluminum sulfate and
It's aluminum, barium,
and
strontium,
all kinds of other
magnesium,
and all kinds of other poison.
And there's also in some areas they've detected biologics in the actual stuff, and they haven't. I didn't hear about exactly what kind of biologics, but maybe if you put on the comments and tell me, I'd like to know what the biologics are that they're talking about in the
Yes,
because this could kill us. They're trying to. I gotta be careful. Unalive us.
yes, I agree. And to those viewers that just joined us, I know it's I think it's 4:30 a.m. in Arizona, but we have some viewers. Welcome to the show. Just so you know, this is the MAGAMind podcast. I'm Brian Ferentz. You can follow me at Brian Ferentz1 on X.
And I'm James Richard, and you can follow me at Sir Runcible Spoon on X.
And our other episodes are posted on our website, magamindpodcast.com. You can also search on anywhere you want to get your podcast. MAGAMind, that's one, make it one word, MAGAMIND, and podcast. Ooh, that's interesting.
we have.
Go ahead, you okay? Get a drink.
I did, and that's what caused it.
Get a drink. Anyways, so I do want you to check out our other episodes on magamindpodcast.com. All right, let's go on to our next topic. Let me go ahead and share the screen.
I want to do a shout out to our FBI agents that are watching us.
Yes, that they are always watching us.
We have 2 FBI agents following us.
Well, at least. Okay, so this is a video. This is really interesting. So you may be aware of the Black Lives Matter mural that was built. It was like on the ground, and there was all kind of stuff. I forget where it was made, but
DC.
Yeah, it's in DC, I think, and basically it's being demolished. And Donald Trump posted this, and so here's a little video of that. Let's just watch this. I really want to make sure it's down.
Here they are. Wow. Oh, I didn't see this. Pulling that all out.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
All right, so let's stop showing that one. So I mean, what do you think about that? Well, first of all, what do you think about Black Lives Matter?
Well, Black Lives Matter was just a talking point. It was trying to get you to be upset about something. So they picked something and they said, "Aha, we got something. Let's do this," and then everybody will be against one another and we'll create civil war. And that's what I believe, that the Black Lives Matter was created just intentionally to create a civil war, but it didn't work.
Well, it got really popular with the George Floyd protests,
right?
And large corporations all started donating millions of dollars. Even governments did. The Maricopa Board of Supervisors, which we've covered before, just recently they donated. The old Board of Supervisors. There was a new one elected in November, but the old one they donated like, I don't know, it was like $1 million or something Black Lives Matter.
Really?
Yeah, using Maricopa taxpayer funds. They said, you know what? Let's take this money. Let's give it to a terrorist organization that's been burning the cities. Burn the cities to the ground for 9 months over George Floyd, who was a criminal
And a drug dealer.
and
a druggie.
yeah, and his toxicology report clearly shows he died from a fentanyl overdose. That's what killed him. And he's being put in the media. He had like dozens of funerals, multiple funerals, all televised. Never mind the actual heroes, never mind the actual victims. But here's a drug dealer, and let's tell everyone that he's a hero, and then give millions of dollars, which was then that money was all stolen by the founders of Black Lives Matter. Like the one of the ladies that was running it, she had like 3 mansions.
Yeah,
She was just stealing all that money.
And everybody got really upset when she bought a Bentley, but they didn't get upset when they bought a new mansion.
Mm-hmm.
The old mansion wasn't good enough.
No.
The new mansion, they didn't get upset about that at all.
Right, and now there's a new guy running Black Lives Matter. It's a guy, and he's very like aggressive and like military like and like physically imposing. And I understand that he's also stealing the money, and he's also just enriching himself. And she's out, and there's a new guy stealing the money now.
Yeah, it's just a money laundering thing.
It is.
How much? I would really love to find out how much money actually went to do anything for Black lives.
None, not 1 cent. No Black children were saved. No Black children were given scholarships. No one was given housing. Nothing.
Just all went to the
nothing.
Just went to the organizers. Yeah.
Right. They should have called it Black Lives Don't Matter. That's what they should have called it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the it's like I run the Black Lives Matter thing, so my Black Life matters.
Yeah, it didn't help Black people at all. It was really just shameful. Anyway, so I'm glad it's being destroyed, that mural. I hope it's never come back. And they should declare Black Lives Matter as a terrorist organization, because that's what it is.
And they should also tear down all of the George Floyd.
Yes, they should tear this down.
Everything that's on him. Mm-hmm. I mean, did you see that one time, a long time ago? It was really hilarious that they did. I think it was in Mexico or something. Mm-hmm. They painted a huge George Floyd mural on the wall. And like 2 days after they were finished, it got hit by lightning.
It was struck by lightning. Yeah, I did see that.
That was hilarious. It's like God is. Yeah, he's not a good guy.
No, I agree, and it's interesting that happened. That mural was destroyed. It's amazing. But they really should release the police officer. I think it's like Derek Chauvin or something like that. Yeah. They should release him, because the toxicology report clearly shows that he had a high amounts of fentanyl in his system, OD'd from fentanyl. It was a drug.
Yeah, and there was no strangulation, which is what they accused him of. He strangled him by stepping on his neck, which there was no evidence. But they showed videos a long time ago when it first happened, where George Floyd was arrested, and they had videos of him chewing. He was arrested, and he was being arrested and hauled off, and he threw all of his pills,
his drugs into his mouth and ate them to destroy the evidence, which is exactly what he did when he was arrested this time, which is why he overdosed.
Yeah, and he was way too much so. Yeah, I agree. I think all of that stuff should be removed, and all of the people that are involved should be prosecuted.
Yep, I agree. Because
that's people. People are not have a lot of money, and they're giving to this charity that they think is a good thing, and then you find out that this charity is really just funneling their money to some rich person's mansion.
Right.
That's just not right.
I agree.
Come on.
I agree.
It's not right.
I agree. All right, let's go on to our next topic here. I'm going to share the screen again. So much is going on.
This is incredible.
All right.
There's way too much stuff.
This is. All right, so Doge is saying that children aged 11 and under 11 were granted a total of $312 million in loans. So these are the PPE loans, I believe, the COVID PPE loans. during the coronavirus pandemic. So there's several problems with that. The first thing is, children are not eligible to get those loans. They're not eligible at all.
Yeah, how do they get?
So it's first of all, it's fraud. A child has no legal ability to enter into a contract, so they cannot open a loan. They can't pay back a loan. They can't open a loan. They can't pay back a loan. They can't enter a contract. And it's 11 and under, so maybe there's, I don't know, 6-year-olds, whatever. So this is total fraud. It's literally just theft and money laundering under the guise of a COVID PPE.
But what about me? I'm a child. And they didn't offer me anything, but I'm so childish. They should have offered me something.
Those loans went out years ago. I mean, there were like 4 years ago they went out, and now just 4 years later, finally someone audited and said, "Wait a minute, why did all these like 5-year-olds get $10 million? What was it for their business that they owned? Because that's what the PP loans was for businesses. So what business did the 5-year-old? I mean, was it a lemonade stand? Man, they're selling a lot of lemonade.
That's some good
That's
lemonade.
a lot of lemonade. They need $5 million for production and distribution and marketing, and
That's some damn good.
it's insane. So it's all fraud, and if the government would just stop wasting our money, we wouldn't have to pay any taxes
Exactly.
at all.
Yeah, we would be flush. We would not have any debt whatsoever if they just stopped throwing our money down the toilet.
I know. It's insane. All right, so let's go on to another topic here. We're going fast and furious. We're just flying through these.
It's so much stuff going on. You can't really spend a huge amount of time on it.
No, we're just hitting it.
You got to keep going.
Hitting it quick. All right, this is a video. Okay, so Elon Musk announced that X was attacked, and many people might have noticed this was a few days ago. X went down. It was hacked. It was unavailable. There was probably a denial of service attack. For our viewers who don't know what that is, basically you get a bunch of computers, you get them to all hit either the website or a database query or something. And then there's so much volume that it just causes the program or the application to say, "Oh no, that's too much. I can't do it," and it crashes and it comes down. Hopefully that explanation was close enough.
Close enough.
Close enough. So Elon Musk announced that the IP addresses from the cyber attack came from the Ukraine.
Oh.
And there's a little video on it. Let's watch this little video. All right. So that's Musk talking to an interviewer that doesn't know anything about anything. Is the internet up? Is the internet back up?
Internet? Yeah.
Not that my explanation of a denial of service attack was perfect, but
yeah, is equating X to the entire internet.
Right.
I mean, I wish Elon Musk probably thinks that.
It's well, yeah. I mean, some people think that it's the single most important app or website on the internet right now.
Right now, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's that important overall, but yes, right now, yeah.
Just because of the breaking news and there's stuff on there that you can't see anywhere else, you can't find it anywhere else. Mm-hmm. But the idea that the attack came from Ukraine, and of course, there's protests at all the Tesla dealerships. There's been attacks at the Tesla dealerships. Trump called it like domestic terrorism. What's happening at the Tesla dealership? There's people calling Tesla the Nazi car, the Nazi mobile, all this stuff. And then Musk is very vocal calling for peace in Ukraine. I think that Russia finally agreed to a 30-day ceasefire with Ukraine under the condition that a permanent peace agreement be pursued and signed.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pushback on that because, of course, they want World War III. So it's just astounding to me that Ukraine is acting like a global terrorist, like thuggery hacker group, and any of their enemies, they go after, like Elon Musk and X, which is, there's a lot of free speech and a lot of breaking news happening there. And I mean, it's just exposing Ukraine for the Nazi dictator communist country that it is.
Yes. It just seems to me like that everything that they've got pushed into Ukraine is all. It's like Ukraine is the ultimate corruption, and everything that Ukraine has going on is like absolutely corrupt everywhere. They have corrupt, government. They have the corrupt side things. They have all of these bio labs. They have, child trafficking. All kinds of crap, all kinds of weird stuff that they're doing in Ukraine, and I find it just amazing. Why we are siding with Ukraine when Ukraine just 5 years ago was considered a terrorist organization.
Mm.
But now it's our best bud. What happened to that? I don't understand.
I mean,
I'm
it's
completely lost.
yeah, it is crazy, and there's even some other topics on Ukraine that we can cover. But before we get into that, let's jump around a little bit. Let's go to our next topic. Let me share the screen here again. All right, so this one, it's again talking about, it's not USAID this time, but it's the federal government wasting money. So this is an article, again, it's from Doge, and it talks about the federal agencies wrongly paid out over 162 billion in 2024, which is a decrease. It used to be 236 billion the year before, I'm assuming. But most of these wrongfully paid out payments were Medicare and Medicare errors, Medicaid errors. Sorry, Medicare and Medicare errors. So it's not like, oh no, they were paying out money to people that were sick. There are errors. So it's probably not errors. It's probably fraud. It's probably
Fraud.
it is fraud. So what they said is Medicare alone wasted 54.3 billion. Medicaid lost 31.1 billion. Again, these are errors, wrongful payments, and Elon's Doge team is now scrutinizing the payments and accusing programs like Social Security of widespread fraud and waste. And that's just the ticket right there. It's just so much fraud and waste. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's like, why is the Social Security and Medicare unsolvent? I mean, if you think about all of the boomers that have been going on, the boomers that are out there. I mean, we paid in our entire life. I'm technically a boomer, even though I'm almost Gen X, but I'm technically a boomer.
Mhm.
And but the thing is, I paid my entire life into that, so I should be able to get back all that money. But they don't give me back all my money. They give me back about 25% of what I paid in.
That's
And
called theft.
yes, exactly. It's
That's
called
what that
theft.
is.
And so all this extra money that I paid in, which should have come back to me, where did it go? If it's unsolvent and that there's not enough money to pay me, where did all that money that I paid in go? And this is exactly what's going on. They're funneling it off to somebody else. They're making artificial payments to other people, and it's just a total corrupt. Oh, I just have a hard time. I can't say the words,
No,
but it's very corrupt.
Yeah, I mean, it's the definition of corruption. I agree. And we're going to come back to that and talk about
Oh, I got a
Go
new
ahead.
definition of the word corruption.
What's that.
Ukraine.
Well, yes, I agree. All right, so let's go to our next topic. Let's see what we got here. All right. Okay. Now, YouTube's not going to be happy with this. YouTube's going to ban us. So, a gentleman named a lady, I believe she's a medical doctor, named Deb Conrad, and her attorney, who I guess is Warren Mendenhall, that's the attorney, filed a lawsuit. And in this arguments, it's against the VAERS. VAERS is the injury and death reporting system that the CDC uses. So the CDC has an official system called VAERS, and when there's ever any type of vaccine injury or death, it's supposed to be reported into that system. Now, there's been a lot of discussion that doctors don't actually do that. They're discouraged from doing that. A lot of those records were deleted mysteriously, to keep the numbers down. There's a bunch of fake stuff going on there. But anyway, so this is a lawsuit. And the key point is that the judge said in open court that the COVID-19 shots are not vaccines. They are not vaccines. And why is that important? If a court rules that the COVID-19 shots, kill shots, like I like to call them, are not vaccines, that means that Pfizer and Moderna do not have legal immunity under that like Vaccine Protection Act or whatever. They're not vaccines. So they are not vaccinations. They're not vaccines. They don't have that legal protection, which means Pfizer and Moderna can and should be sued into oblivion, non-existence, and criminal charges as well as crimes against humanity pursued in Nuremberg 2 hearings against Moderna, Pfizer, their entire board of directors, all their executives. Yes, all of them. All of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane because, you just like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do some corruption. So just government, just give me a pass on everything that I could do from now on to ever. And then they did it. That's what's crazy about it. It's like, give me a complete pardon for everything I'm going to do. All I have to do is just sign this paper, and we will never be prosecuted, and I can do whatever I want.
It's just insane. I mean, it's absolutely insane. And here you have additional evidence. I mean, we already know that the COVID-19 kill shots are completely ineffective. They don't stop the spread. They don't stop transmission. They don't lessen the severity. They don't lessen hospital stay. They don't lessen death. In fact, the studies show they increase all of those things.
I was going to say, what do they do?
Well, they increase them. They increase turbo cancer. They increase, the severity, the hospital stays, the death, turbo cancer, brain cancer, infertility, everything.
You missed one.
What's that?
VAIDS.
Yes, they destroy your immune system. Well, explain VAIDS.
VAIDS is vaccine-induced immune deficiency. That's basically what it means.
And basically, you have AIDS.
You have AIDS from the vaccine, and there's a lot of people that are right now that are they have, they're like they're getting some diseases, and they're like, well, why am I getting this disease? I'm only like 30 years old, and they find out that they have AIDS, and this AIDS is just breaking down their immune system. And the only thing they ever did that was different was they got the
kill shots, and multiple of them.
Usually multiple of them that gives them the AIDS. And so why would some company like Pfizer or Moderna, why would they do that? That seems kind of contradictory to what their objective is to help us.
Well, if you give everyone cancer and you give everyone infertility, then those people have to buy your products of fertility products and cancer treatments and AIDS pills. Too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have patented. I've seen commercials for that all the time. It's, there's all these commercials. It's like, if you have HIV, you don't even need to get shots that often. We'll give you a once monthly shot from Pfizer.
You don't even need to tell anybody about it.
Right.
Because we can give you this shot, and the person that you're banging is not going to ever know that you're giving them a disease.
I mean, California passed some legislation on that. They passed legislation that you can conceal that you're HIV positive, and that it's no longer.
They did?
Yeah, and
I
it's
didn't
no
hear
it's
about
no
that.
longer like attempted murder if like an HIV patient like bites a police officer, whereas that used to be that, but not anymore.
Only in California,
Only in California.
where
And
you have a map for feces.
yeah,
That's California for you. Yay!
yeah, but YouTube is not going to be happy about this. They're gonna ban us so hard.
Yeah, we got banned once before because of what they considered not
Medical
legitimate.
medical misinformation, which has been completely proven by actual science, thousands of medical doctors in actual peer-reviewed, actual scientific method with control groups, and
But not according to YouTube.
double-blind testing. Unlike the fake testing that Moderna did, their safety medical testing, which didn't exist, they faked all their data. That's real science. Oh yeah, okay, sure it is. All right, let's go on to our next topic here. Let's do this. Oh, this is we covered this one before. Okay, so we talked about earlier in a previous episode. So please go to magamindpodcast.com. Look at our previous episodes. Charlie Kirk, the CEO and founder of Turning Point, he went on Gavin Newsom's, the governor of California's debut podcast, helped him launch his podcast, get all that media coverage, was posting about it on his social media profile. So now all of a sudden, boom, not only does Barack Obama launching a podcast, but Michelle Obama, Big Mike, launched a podcast too. So I mean, my question is Charlie Kirk going to help them? Is he going to go on their shows? And is he going to be on there with Big Mike and
I don't know.
with Obama, help him promote it a little bit? I mean, so supposedly Michelle Obama's show did not get the viewership that they were hoping for. So maybe they need Charlie Kirk to get on there and just really pump those numbers.
Well, see,
I don't know.
I think they named it wrong. It should not be called Michelle Obama's podcast. It should be just called Big Mike's podcast.
Well,
And then they probably get viewership.
there's a lot of opportunity there. They could have said, they could have said Big Mike's Big Mike.
Yeah,
It's a podcast. Big Mike's Big Mike.
Yeah, really. I mean, they missed it. It's an advertising thing. They should have done it. It was awesome. It's awesome.
I think it's funny that Barack Obama starts a podcast, and then Big Mike starts a podcast at the same time. Different podcasts. We're not going to be on the same podcast. They're just separate. I actually heard there's a lot of rumors that they're going to get divorced. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I
rumor
heard about that.
I don't know. Sometimes when a gentleman gets older, he's no longer able to naturally have an erection, and so obviously Barack Obama's very upset about that.
That's probably true.
That Big Mike
can't get it
can't
up
get up anymore. I don't know. You saw where I was going with that. All right, that was funny. Let's go on to another topic here. We did that one. All right, let me share the screen on this. Okay, so here we are back to USAID. So the current acting executive secretary of USAID ordered mass shredding and burning of paper files. Of course, they were appointed under Obama.
Mm-hmm.
And named the USAID executive secretary by Joe Biden first week in office. And then let me just click on this. So this first one, it's showing Biden names acting heads of development. It's highlighted, January 2021, and there's Executive Secretary Erica Carr. Yep, exactly. And then there's this other one. Oh wait a minute, that's the same one. Hold on, let me click on this one. And here's acting secretary. Miss Carr joined USAID in 2009, special agent in the Office of Personnel Management from 2007 to 2009. And that looks like a man, first of all.
It
But,
does.
that's treason to instruct them to destroy evidence is basically what it is.
Well, that's the FBI way. I mean, come on. You can't just have evidence out there that might implicate our rulers. Because, if we're not, the the political party is just really the entertainment section of the military complex,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, they're it's all just a bunch of joke. This entertainment, nothing is going to happen. I truly don't believe that anything is going to happen, because they just have no idea that they are doing anything wrong. It just seems like they just blindly just do this stuff, and that's it. They're done. They're just blindly doing stuff. And you would think that these people would have some sort of morals, that
Ha!
just a tiny hint of morals, that like I'm killing babies, and that's okay. That's fine. You can kill babies, but that's I'm just these people are morally bankrupt.
I think I saw today. I believe it was in Minnesota that there was a bill that would require doctors to provide medical assistance to babies who were being aborted, murdered, uh, and survive the procedure, because currently they just put them on the table and let them die. But it was a bill requiring doctors to provide medical care to babies that survive the abortion process. And of course, every Democrat voted no on that, and it failed because
They're
of that.
they're anti-life.
They are. I mean, well, they always say it's not a baby until it's born. It's not a baby until it's born, which is a lie. But this baby has been born. It was attempted to be aborted. It's out of the mother. The baby's now out of the mother and is still alive and can and will survive, except for they let that baby die.
Well, I'm very, very, very pro-life, and I'm not talking about abortions. I'm talking about every kind of life, trees, crickets, everything. So you have to, like, we went to a sushi making class, and they talked about the
Mm-hmm.
Buddhist way of thinking. I'm very more I'm kind of pro life in
Mm-hmm.
any way, shape, or form, and you have to give thanks to the fish that died, that's giving you the sushi that we're making.
Mm-hmm.
You say thank you very much for your life, because it's going to help me
Mm-hmm.
be alive. But what is it going to do? What is the purpose of unaliving babies? What's the purpose of
I
that?
think it's a satanic ritual, is
It's
what it
yeah,
is.
it's very satanic,
Yeah.
and it's very anti-life, and that's really, really wrong. We cannot be anti-life, because if you don't have a life, what else matters?
Hmm.
If you're not alive, that's it.
I agree.
End of story.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's jump to our next topic, though. We'll just do a couple more. Then we'll save some from the next episode. All right, we're coming back to the egg prices. So this is very interesting. So first of all, under Biden, the egg prices exploded because there was so much inflation. The economy was terrible. They were killing just we covered this so many times. They were killing just millions and millions of chickens just being killed. And so of course the egg prices went up, hitting a high point above $8. $8, I believe, was per dozen. Now, amazingly, Trump's in, and they were complaining, "Oh, those egg prices didn't drop. When are we going to see lower egg prices, Trump?" And now you see the drop. Trump's in office. Here's a huge drop from $8 down to $5.51. It's in 2025. It's after, so it's clearly when Trump's in office. There it is. There's the drop in egg prices. It turns out all you had to do was stop murdering chickens, and then the egg prices drop. They lay more eggs, and then the price drops. It's called economics.
I don't know. I guess Democrats don't understand the concept.
They don't understand economics. They don't.
That's
So
because they're not pro-life. They're
Mhm.
pro-death.
They are. They are. And the price of eggs was being artificially inflated by just limiting the supply. That's
And
basic economics.
what I find is interesting, I saw pictures on X of people in Mexico, and people in Mexico, they're buying eggs, and they're like $2 or $1.50.
That happened here in Japan. We bought a couple times. We bought a dozen eggs, and it was like $3. for a
Yeah.
dozen eggs.
So
Beautiful eggs, wonderful.
why would it be $8 in America and $2 in Mexico right next door, or here in Japan, which is a long ways away,
Yeah,
and they have no problems with getting eggs? So why is it only in America?
exactly, because they're not mass culling their chickens, so they have a large amount of eggs, and the price is cheap.
That's exactly what I
Mhm.
think too. So
That's what it is.
I agree.
You are right. All right, let me share my screen again. We're gonna jump to our next topic. All right, here we go. So this one is interesting. So this says that the EU has slapped a $28 billion retaliatory tariff on the US, despite admitting it'll hike prices on both sides. So, I mean, this is like the ongoing tariff battle. We talked about this a little bit before. I think it's kind of ridiculous now at this point. I mean, I do think that we are going to see a lot more tax revenue from tariffs in the United States, and it's going to be good. But this like, oh, we're going to hike your tariffs. Like, oh, we're going to hike ours. Oh, we're going to go over here. Oh. And then they just come down and they settle and they make a agreement that okay, we'll just keep low tariffs. So it's just a bargaining
Well,
process. Is
it's
all it
really
is.
bad is that we don't, when we import things, we don't put a tariff on it. But when we export things, they put a tariff on it.
Mm.
So our stuff is not being sold in other countries because it's higher priced. And the only people that buy it, they want American based stuff. Now, why is it that we have to suffer the tariffs, but they don't? And then when we say, oh, we're going to give you a tariff, oh my God, we're going to have a tariff. And they already have tariffs on us, like the whole aluminum thing in Canada.
Canada, yeah.
Yeah, Canada put on a 53% tariff on us, and it's been there for what, 10 years or something like that. And then we say we're going to put a 25% tariff on stuff,
And they lose their minds.
Yeah, they go ballistic. I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. So we just need to hold our guns and just say, why don't we match every tariff that you give us? We're going to match that tariff and give it back to you.
Right. And what Vice President J.D. Vance and President Trump have said is that it's a long-term goal to just prevent everything from being outsourced outside of the United States, and we want to manufacture more and more things in the United States. When there is tariffs, there's the pressure. Certain businesses will start saying, okay, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and manufacture that in the United States. We're not going to buy it out of here because there's a huge tariff. It's going to be cheaper or the same price. Let's just manufacture it here. Let's do that. And then invest more in American workers. We certainly need to do that. We also need to stop the H-1B program. That needs to stop immediately. But, if we can invest in American workers, hire American workers, manufacture products in the United States, our economy is going to explode, and we're going to be the most vibrant economy ever. Especially if we stop all this illegal immigration and deport all the millions of illegals that came in here, we're going to have a fantastic economy. America is going to be the gem of the world again. It'll be the apple of everyone's eye. We'll stop money laundering and sending money all these foreign countries. The money will stay within the United States. Imagine that. The economy is going to just flourish.
The people that write the history books always seem to win. It's kind of a coincidence there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny how that works. So, who won World War II? We won't talk about that.
We won't talk about that. All right, let's go on to our next topic. Here we go. All right. Okay, I'm going to play this video, but this is from Tara Bull, and she says, does anyone recognize this man? This is the Maui police chief, John Pelletier, who was also the incident commander for the 2017 Las Vegas shooting. He was just named in the Diddy case, the P Diddy case.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So let's
hear about this.
Yeah, this is a lot of people didn't hear about this.
Oh, I see.
All right, let's pause that. So let's just give a
Right.
little background on this guy. All right. So when Tara mentions that this was the guy who, was the police chief, or sorry, he was the incident commander of the 2017 Las Vegas shooting. I mean, that's something that was memory hold. I mean, they covered that up right away. All the research shows and everything that happened, and according to eyewitnesses, there's no way there was only one shooter. Uh, all the video cameras were disabled in that Vegas hotel, so they didn't have any footage of the actual shooting, who was doing it. They had some footage of the guy bringing up duffel bags. That was it. But when have you been in a Las Vegas casino when there's not cameras everywhere and they see everything? How did those cameras get disabled? Just like the Epstein cameras got disabled. And here's the incident commander. I mean, his job was to cover that up because clearly it was the CIA and the FBI, one or both, involved that created that shooting. It was a red flag mass casualty event to try and get guns banned, and they murdered a bunch of patriots at a country music concert in Vegas, and then in Maui, you know those homes were burned for their real estate, and those children were murdered. And many of the surviving children, whose all their whole entire family was killed, and those children, many of them were trafficked, is what happened. And so they uh, it was illegal in Maui to hire a police chief who didn't reside there, and so they violated their own law to bring in this douchebag when they had qualified candidates that were being paid less, and he was given like a huge bonus and a moving bonus, and all the expenses were covered. It was against their policies and laws to hire him. And they did it anyways. They brought him in because they knew they were going to murder and burn all those families and children in Maui.
And how many people in Maui are actually allowed to go back to their home?
Well, I visited Maui recently, and what they did is that whole place is still years later. It's blocked off. You can go in there if you show ID. It's all heavily controlled, but none of the families are living there. They've built like this is all beachfront, like exclusive property that is highly desirable in Maui, worth just hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. They burned all the natives out. They built some condos way back from the beach, and they're letting them live there free. Um, and then, of course, a bunch of they got offers, pennies on the dollar to sell their land, and there's arguably some laws to prevent some real estate developers in there. But the reality is, the families are not living there. They're not living there anymore. So that's what they wanted. They brought this guy in way in advance to cover it up. That's what he did. You heard the news conference. And now, lo and behold, he's somehow named in the P. Diddy case. I mean, it's just crazy. Um,
Seems like they're all related somehow. I don't understand this.
well, it is. And, I want to ask Grok. So
We're gonna grok it.
we're gonna Grok it. I'm going to,
As I just coined that phrase.
we're going to Grok it. I'll share the screen so the users can see. If you haven't used Grok before, we're going to go in here and we're going to ask Grok, how was the guy's name is John Pelletier named in the Diddy case. Let's just ask Grok. Let's see what it says. All right, Grok is searching. Okay, so he's according to Grok 3. John Pelter, the current Maui police director, was named as a co-defendant in an amended civil lawsuit filed against Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit filed in October 24 in District Court for the Northern District of California by Ashley Parham and two other plaintiffs, of which were Jane and John Doe, was amended on March 7, 2025 to include Pelletier among other high-profile individuals. He's accused of playing a significant role in the events tied to an alleged gang rape of Combs in 2018. So basically a cover-up, another cover-up.
He sounds like a spectacular man.
Yeah, I mean,
just a pillar of the.
What are the chances? I mean, how can it be? I mean, this guy, he's here at the Vegas shooting, and now he's in the Maui fires, and now he's in the P Diddy case. I mean, he's everywhere. I mean, what are the chances of that?
He's just a great guy. I mean, he just has so much good things that he wants to do that he has to spread it around.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't just, be a fire chief or a police officer. He has to,
It's just too much.
Diddy.
It's too much. So, I mean, they need to investigate this guy, investigate his finances, follow the money. Where's his money coming from? Who brought him to Maui? Who placed him in Vegas? What are his ties to the FBI and the CIA, and who are his handlers? That's what we need to find out.
Well, what we need to find out is why are there no arrests?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want arrests. I voted for people going to jail.
Well, Pam Bondi's sure not doing any arrests. I mean, zero arrests from Pam Bondi. She's not doing her job. That's what's going on with Pam Bondi.
But I voted for that. I want arrests. Mm-hmm. Pam Bondi, if you're listening to this podcast, I want arrests.
Make arrests. But you saw the Grok 3 live. That's how we roll here. All right, we got two more topics. Let's do them. Here we go. All right, this next one is White House counselor Alina Habba claims that a large batch of Epstein documents is under review and that the prosecutions are pending. Well, there's Pam Bondi again. Yay, Pam Bondi. And look what we got here. What are the odds that the new Canadian PM, Mark Carney, is on the Epstein list? Here he's pictured with Giselle Maxwell, the madam of Epstein. There's the new PM of Canada right there. There he is. Wow, at a private event. What are the chances of that?
Well, probably, snowball in a very hot place.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, Pam Bondi is just, she's never going to release those files.
Nothing's going to
They're under review. They're all being redacted. You're going to get a page of all blacked out files is what's going to happen. And now the new PM of Canada is concretely tied to Epstein. So his name's probably on the list. It's been redacted. Thanks, Pam Bondi.
They basically should just say the new PM of Canada is a pedophile.
I think he is. Seems like it.
It does appear that way. Yes.
Yeah. My question is, who is paying Pam Bondi to hide all this evidence? It looks like she's covering it up. I mean, in my opinion, Pam Bondi is no better than what's his name, John Pelletier or whatever, the Maui and Vegas guy. I mean, looks like she's doing a cover up. She's not releasing anything. There's no arrest from Pam Bondi. What's going on, Pam Bondi? Absolutely nothing is what's going on.
That's it. Absolutely nothing.
Anyways, all right. Let's go to our next topic. Let me make sure I do this right. Okay, I'm gonna close that one down. All right, this is our last topic for this podcast. Here we come. Oh, it's the eggs again. We came back to the eggs. I screwed up. We're gonna get a bonus one. Let's get a bonus topic. All right, here we go. This is we talked about that. This is a good one. Okay, this is our last topic right here. Let me share my screen on this one. All right, let load. Loading. Okay, I don't know if you've seen this. So at Texas Tech, the school was evacuated following explosions from sparking fire and power outages. Authorities on the scene, eyewitnesses captured footage of the carnage. Allegedly, it also included. Well, I'll show that. We'll show a couple videos and then we'll talk about it. So, okay, here comes the first one. Let's see if I can make it bigger. That's as big as it gets. A little bit bigger. This is at Texas A&M. And then let's go to the next video here. See if I can get it to get bigger.
I didn't.
So it's a bunch of fire, and it's coming. I think this next video will explain it a little bit better. Okay, so this gas odor reported and multiple blazes, alarming green flames rattling manholes. Okay, so green fire coming out of the sewer. Okay, that's got to be it's green. Why would there be flammable copper in the sewer?
That's got to be some sort of copper gas. This sewer creates green flames.
Okay.
That is really weird.
Yeah. So, my first comment was, this is some kind of terrorist attack. It's in Texas. It doesn't make any sense for it to be in Texas. Texas A&M, probably they dropped a bunch of chemicals and a bunch of stuff into the sewers there, ignited it. And I mean, my understanding is they evacuated the whole school. And, there was power outages and there's a bunch of damage and explosions and fire. And
Wow,
I mean, you saw some of the videos. It was just crazy.
that's insane. I mean, jeez,
I can't remember that ever happening.
I've never heard of that happening. I've
And
never seen green flames.
green flame exploding out of the sewer. I mean, that's not like a natural gas leak
Yeah.
that's going on. It's
Wow.
something crazy. It's like a terrorist attack. I mean, that's what it is.
I bet you they set it up specifically to try and blow up like the streets. And
Like
things.
blow up the school or something.
Well,
Probably.
you blow up the streets,
Yeah.
and everything will just kind of,
Mhm.
collapse or fall over because of the streets going down. But what the heck is green? I mean, like I said, I think they use green in fireworks. The copper is used in green in
Mhm.
fireworks,
Hmm.
and so that's where I got that from. But I'm not sure about that. I mean, if you want to put it in the comments, that would be awesome.
Wow, it's 5 a.m. Most of our viewers are sleeping. We have some viewers, but they don't like to comment. But it's
Well,
okay.
they're just that's our FBI agents. They're
They
just
are.
watching us.
How you doing, guys?
It's like, dude, we're on your side, man. Don't ban us, and don't try to find us either.
We're moving around a lot, so
Yeah.
it's making it pretty hard on them.
But yeah, I have no idea. That's insane. I never heard about that one. That's crazy.
It was pretty crazy. I couldn't believe it. It was
Yeah,
green flames. It was like, this is a motocross event? What's going on?
I
Doesn't make
remember
sense.
going to Chicago one time,
Mhm.
and I had a like meetings that I had to go there, and I walked around at one time in the middle of the night, and there was like this steam coming out of the ground. It was really disgusting steam, and it was the sewage was going through the street,
Yeah.
and in the sewers, and it was coming up through vents holes,
Mhm.
but it was like a steam coming up through this vent hole that was like crazy, huge steam things. I'm like, what the hell is that? I've never seen that. I was from the west, United Western area of the world,
Mhm.
and so I didn't know what that was. And so I talked to the guy, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's a sewer." And I'm like, "That's disgusting."
That's crazy.
No wonder it stinks
Hmm.
all through Chicago.
Right, but it's kind of unusual for Texas, right? Like
Yeah,
Texas.
Texas is,
I didn't know Texas had sewers. To be honest.
well, everybody has sewers.
I guess.
Now, I'm kind of debating upon whether they have sewers in New York because everybody seems to go to the bathroom anywhere.
Wow.
New York and San Francisco, they just like, yeah, there's a spot right over there. I'll just take a squat, and somebody else can step in it.
Wow. I mean, that's
Pretty disgusting.
That's disgusting.
That's really disgusting.
But on that note, do you have something positive to share with the viewers? Is there any positive thought?
You're catching me off guard here.
I know I am.
But see, I think that the biggest thing that we kind of touched on a little bit is that what do you value the most? If you value the most thing you value, you just look around in your life and you say, I want, and you look around and you say, this is not what I want, then that's not what you value. So if you look around in your life and you value everything that you have, then that is what you value. But if you look around and you say, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like this in my life, it's specific, personally to yourself, then you don't have that. You're not living your life to your own values. So you don't have your own, you're not looking out for yourself. So I think that if you were to just try and, try and search for things that make you happy and make you a better person, rather than trying to think about, well, what is this guy going to say and what is that guy going to say? Who cares what other people think? Make yourself happy. And I think that's a big thing. Is whatever you value is what you have around you. I have my friend here, Brian. I value that. I've got my, I'm going on trips and I value that. I value life. And people don't value life. And that sucks. And that's what I believe. Value life, because if you don't have life, nothing else is important.
Do you remember we were walking somewhere and we saw there was a couple like sayings that were on, I don't know, restaurants or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember any of them? There was one. It was something about like adventure or.
I can't remember what happened.
Oh, I remember one. It said happiness is always delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Happiness is always delicious. There's a lot of food in Japan, so happiness is always delicious.
That's a good one. I like that.
I like that one too. All right, so we'll close out the show. I do want to thank everyone. Again, this is the MAGAMind podcast. Follow us on magamindpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcast. Search for MAGAMind Podcast. And you can follow me on X at Brian Ferentz1.
And I'm James Richard. You can follow me on Sir Runcible Spoon on X.
And I do want to thank everyone. We're going to continue posting and podcasting here from Japan just for a little bit while longer. So please do tune in, but please check out our previous episodes. And again, thank you to all of our viewers, and God bless.